Today's episode is brought to you by the Vegas Bear Guys and 2T Fitness. The Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language. 'Cause we learned it from you, Dad. To the Reef. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man diving into your dreams, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. What do you have for him today, Tom?
Plus, that chick wants my knob. Where is this guy supposed to be from? It's like Valley Girl mixed with Cockney.
We're going to have a good time.
Oh, this is all about a good time. This is, you get your DVD, a bottle of wine, and you're gonna have a great night.
Yeah.
It's so amazing that we're both so taken by this,
odd duck of a movie.
Apparently, to all intents and purposes, shit movie.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah, I mean, well, we'll get there. Just as we were starting, I started laughing to myself because I said I didn't write down any box office shit. What's wrong with this movie? Why didn't I do that? And then I remembered that it's direct-to-video and there is no information on how much this movie cost, how much movie it made. But I can tell you that it's
Red box office.
Yeah,
that's all we know about these.
Yet another 2009 film with 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, come on, people. Live a little.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you this, though.
I don't know why I'm so inclined to defend this movie, but I really feel strongly about it.
Me too. I am most surprised.
This podcast has broken me. That's what's happened.
I have something to say right after the credits that'll kind of put in perspective how I felt about the movie. But first, let's talk about Stephen Herrick, because this is the director of this movie.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. I assume that was where you were going with it, but...
He directed this movie for a direct-to-video sequel. You don't think you're going to get the guy who directed Critters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, The Mighty Ducks, The Three Musketeers, the one with
Kiefer Sutherland?
Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland, and he directed Mr. Holland's Opus when he was, I guess, trying to get Oscar nominations. 101 Dalmatians, Holy Man, Rockstar, Man of the House. This guy's been in charge of major motion pictures in Hollywood for quite some time.
So what happened?
I don't know.
Why by 2009 is he directing Into the Blue 2, The Reef?
And why is it...
Where did all that cachet go?
Why does it look not great, but is still good and fun to watch? Is it just him? Like, well, what is the
now
math?
I think it is.
Yeah, like, what's the math equation that makes this such a watchable film?
Is it just that a director like that can make a movie like this in his sleep, and that's why it goes down so easy?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
It's never aggressively out of tune. That's like, you know what I mean? Like the sort of, it's in tune with what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
There are no off notes in the entire movie.
Well, but there are. But they are never going to rub you the wrong way.
No, that's it. I think that's a better way of putting it, yeah. They're never going to...
Because that's one of my top notes. So, I mean, first, I noticed that we have the MGM logo, and we have the good one, the original one, with an actual lion.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, do we have a... Go ahead.
No, where did you watch this?
Max, maybe?
Okay. I don't remember seeing the MGM logo, but it could be that.
Well, I got one.
Okay, good.
Now, do we have a typewritten thing over
Sure.
the front about 6 billion in treasure in the oceans?
Yeah.
Right?
We have an open... the last thing I thought this movie was going to begin with was a piece of factual on-screen text.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, but after the ellipsis, after the ... that's when you realize it's just made up bullshit. Like, it has the appearance
Sure.
of like coming from some document. And then it says, still waiting to be found. I'm like, well, How could you possibly know that? That tells me what you just said was bullshit. The most confusing start to a film ever.
I like the title Over the Falling Uzi. I thought that was special.
It is special. Special is the right word. I have the note that the names of the actors drop to the bottom of the ocean about as heavily as the gun does.
Yes.
Because I don't recognize a one of them.
And don't all the names and the titles sort of shimmer out of existence?
They do. Like they do, and it's got that fate sense. It's where that effect and it not rendering properly meet in the middle.
But I kept wondering as I was watching it how much it was going to bother you, because it seemed like one of those slow-moving water things that you would think you're telling me that what you're doing is grand and special, but what you're really doing is slowing up the credits.
Well, that's the true testament to how good this movie is, because gratuitous swimming in turtles is not the way to get me invested in a movie in the first few minutes.
Sure.
But I overcame that hurdle and ended up really liking it. So this movie overcame its Thunderball problem.
Yeah. Well, we watched some cases fall right after that ellipses and the waiting to be found. Is that when the cases fall?
Guns and cases fell to the bottom of the sea. And we get Honolulu seen at night and blurry, disguising wherever it was they filmed.
Yeah, right.
I guess it's cheaper to hire an actor to translate what someone's saying on screen than to pay for someone to subtitle the film retrospectively, because we have like a guy speaking in is it Spanish? He's speaking in his native language. An island language, I think.
Was it island or? Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
And then there's then there's a translator next to him translating what he said into English, and it's like, we don't really have the budget to send a movie away, get someone to subtitle it. Let's just have you say what he's saying.
Right.
In English.
We'll hire an extra actor.
But
what I noticed, so this'll kind of encompass how I feel about the movie, because that interpretation is going on and they're talking to the silver-haired baddie.
Yeah.
That I know immediately we're going to see in the first 2 minutes and the last 2 minutes of the movie, and that's it. Right?
Yeah, but he's like, to me he screams soap opera doctor.
Yes, exactly.
This guy.
Exactly right. He's the guy that wish he had the career path that went down the road of Dr. Daniel Chalice.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know 100% what you mean. And he's speaking, and the way you can tell that he's from the world of soap opera is that he speaks phonetically.
So, yes, exactly. That's what I want to bring up, is that he is speaking phonetically, and he is trying to sell his badness in a way that immediately makes me say to myself, oh, so this is the level of the movie and everyone in it. And yet, I'm perfectly okay. That's the magic sauce for this movie.
Do you know what it is?
Nothing is bothering me. Nothing. I think to myself, I'm watching a bad actor do bad work, and I'm having a good time.
Yep. You know what it is? It's a see-through movie.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's everything
transparent.
is so transparent.
Yes, exactly.
And I think, as I said in the ranking episode, where that can be off-putting in a movie like this, it's incredibly reassuring.
Yeah, yes.
And it allows it to be enjoyable, I think.
So what I'm interested in now, knowing that it's directed by Stephen Herrick and like seeing all the work that he's done,
Yes.
I'm fascinated to know about, somebody said, "Hey, I want you to direct this movie." He said, "Sure." Like, did he try for like?
Yeah.
He calls Jessica Alba. Did he ring up Paul Walker, or was Paul Walker gone by 2009? That was later, right?
No,
2015 or so.
He just pretended he was dead at this point, so he didn't have to do it.
So he didn't have to do this movie.
And then in a kind of terrible Twilight Zone tragedy, Twilight Zone like tragedy, he actually died. Yes.
Well, I'm just curious, could he not get anybody he wanted, and then he got all of these actors and just said, "I'm going to make the best of it."
Well, he does, but I mean, it's a.
But it's weird that he's able to. What's that?
A sure hand at storytelling is evident here. That's the least you can say about the director of this movie.
And it's like, if a director's confronted with actors that may not be up to snuff, maybe they're not quite as good as what he's normally worked with.
Yeah.
Is there something, like, can a director inherently, who's good at their job, can they just pitch the movie at the right frequency?
Yes.
That we are not bothered by the bad acting? Is that what's going on here?
I think, that's why in cinema the auteur theory is about the director, not the writer, because
right.
I think that idea of pitching the movie is the art of direction.
Yeah. Where's
what pitch, what frequency is your movie at? And this movie it's to borrow an image from the film, it's plain sailing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All the way through. I
noticed that we get credits, a cold open, and credits.
I have the same note, lukewarm open here.
Yeah.
Actually, my note is apparently we're still in the middle of the title sequence. So it's not quite a lukewarm, because that's when movies do that, it's intentional. But this just kind of like the titles come back in as if they'd forgotten to finish.
As if they forgot to finish them, right?
Actually, we forgot to put these
Oops.
up.
By the way, these people worked on this film. But speaking to the silver-haired baddie, I wrote down that he's not selling his badness even with his accent.
Right.
Love it.
I don't know if I would blow this note now, but I thought they really missed a trick not casting George Lazenby in this role. Because this guy looks exactly like George Lazenby looks now.
That's great.
There's a lot of Bond in here.
Well, the next thing I wrote after the lukewarm credits, I wrote, we have a De Palma / Magnum PI split screen.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Split screen, montage, slow motion, tits and ass, underwater shooting. Every technique you can think of, just throw it at the wall. GoPro, right? Being wielded like as if it's cutting edge, which it probably was in 2009.
Like a blunt tool.
Yes. But this sounds so ridiculous, and I can't believe I'm saying this about Into the Blue to the Reef. But I felt the thrill of being able to take a phone camera underwater. You know what I mean?
Yes, right. I do.
Like, somehow this movie captured the like how desirable it would be for that very brief moment in 2009 where GoPros was the future of storytelling.
Yes, right.
So some seriously bad matching to back projections when we get above the water and introduced to our leads, and luckily the dialogue and dynamics are just as unclear and clunkily done as the back projection matching. So we're again, everything is working at the same level in this movie.
That guy, what's his name? Chris Carmack.
Yeah.
What a great name to write down for a character. Sebastian. Sebastian is our lead guy. Anyway.
Yeah. And we're supposed to think. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that he's got this line somewhere towards the beginning where he says, "I don't want to be a dive bum."
Yes.
And it was in that moment that I realized this movie is pitched exactly at the same level of like an 80s ski movie comedy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Except the like Ski Patrol or whatever it is in those movies. That's his job. He's the dive bum, and he can be so much more. Tom, he's got so much more inside of him.
Yeah, and you know we find out that because they're taking a client out on the water, through the contrast with her, we know our two leads are better than just beach trash, because they drink water and they read upside down. But it's very noticeable. She's having like alcohol and they're just drinking water. And now I'm starting to think that Stephen Herrick did that deliberately. But it reads, again, it's transparent, right? You know exactly what you're supposed to think about these two versus her. Yes, and her being on screen is telling you everything you need to know about them. This is where we start lingering on the near lovemaking.
Yeah, there's lots of that. And it's because there's
it's like
there's two couples worth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we get this. So yeah, we get as a quartet, two couples.
Yes.
The other guy, we're introduced to the guy from the other couple who does the worst hungover acting I've ever seen.
That's my note. I mean, that's my exact note. You want to know what I wrote down?
This guy's never been hungover
ever in his life. I wrote down he's not exactly like Paul Newman in The Sting. No,
and I think he obviously thinks that Peter Falk must be playing hungover when he's doing Columbo. Because those are all his choices. Yeah. I love the fact that we can in the apartment there's Kama Sutra paintings on the wall.
Yes.
They're like, we need to suggest sexiness and intellect simultaneously. A famous sex book.
At the same time, they're trying to be relevant to the 2000s because somebody says, I feel like I'm being sexually harassed.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But it's joke humor between couples, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And my next note is, well, those tits didn't need much coaxing to come out of the bed sheets, and he only went in there for a t-shirt.
Yeah, I wrote down great unnecessary tit.
By the way, those t-shirts tell us more about what those characters do for jobs than the screenplay has done up this
True.
time.
Yeah.
Because we find out, like they have their business logos on there, and that's the first time it's been clarified what they actually
do.
Yeah. Yes. What their business is. And this is the point where the evil British couple come in to corrupt the sun-stroked hippie surfer couple.
Yeah, but right before that,
lifestyle.
Because it's kind of gonna come up later. Right before that, his friend tells this story of how he tells the story of how he's a cheating asshole.
Yeah.
And asks, he's like, you guys gotta help me. And they're both fed up with him, but yet for some reason they still help their friend who's, I don't know, cheating or not cheating. This
movie is a religious parable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the religious parable, he's punished by losing his girlfriend.
Yeah, that was a bold choice.
He's punished for his transgressions.
He is, yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to get there.
I'm very excited to get to that point. This movie surprised the hell out of me.
Oh man, and she's the most recognizable actress in the movie
right.
as well. So I vaguely recognize these two. David Anders has been in a lot of CW shows. He's and for some reason I mentioned the show before on this podcast multiple times. The British TV show, detective show called Pie in the Sky.
Yeah.
About Henry Crabb, a retired police detective who becomes a chef, and she was one of the waitresses.
The girl that plays Azra?
Yeah.
Marsha Thomason.
That's it, yeah.
I think
she
she's
was in
one
Pie
of
in
the
Sky with Richard Griffiths.
better actors in this whole movie.
Well, both of based on their resumes, both of them have carved out a pretty decent
A good
career
life
in
for
American
themselves.
television.
Yeah.
They've got some NCISs
Yeah.
and various CW shows under their. Only one of them is actually British, because again, you can't let two British actors play two British people.
No, never.
So David Anders is American. It even says on his IMDb, even though he is American.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes. You saw that he sometimes
Yeah.
plays roles. Whereas using a British home counties accent. And that's far more specific than he understands about the accent he's doing.
So they're going to show up. I wrote down the rich folk come to chat about San Cristobal.
Yeah. The symbolism is so, even at this stage, is so clear. They've come to, they come to corrupt these two.
Yeah, of course.
The beach is like the Garden of Eden, and
they kind of just
serpents.
Ramp it up.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just go out. Let's do this. Now, listen, I got to tell you this.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? And if you do this, then I'm going to give you this. And now, no, fuck you. You have to do it.
I noticed that as we go into the diving montage, the song sounds like the Key and Peele parody dance tune "Party Don't Stop." I know it's not, but that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
That's what it's based on.
Now, do they go back for more diving after they have dinner? Because I have a note here about how Sebastian says that the wine tastes like velvet.
I don't think. Are we at the wine? Oh yeah,
which
yes,
I
do
thought
go
was
back in the
funny.
water.
It's like revealing
But
himself as
that
not
again-
much of a wine drinker. Tastes like velvet.
Again, the religious symbolism is on point because they get seduced by wine,
Right.
which is fruit. So it's literally the forbidden fruit. They're set up as these smart, hydrated people, and now he's down in this.
Smart, hydrated
No, that's
people.
what's going on. Yeah.
I'm going to make you dumb and I'm going to dehydrate you.
That's what's going on.
Drink this.
When they go into the water, all the marine life seems to be refusing to look into the camera as if they've all been bowfingered into doing this. Like they didn't sign a release to do this. And I'm not sure how much Chris Cormack has researched deep sea diving because he's just hacking into the sand with what looks like a grilling accessory.
Yeah, right. He's trying.
And it's just it looks so certain that that's how it works.
Yeah.
And I really love that moment because he's got this tongue and he's just kind of hacking into the sand. How much can you dig up with that, really?
Well, he finds a piece of the San Cristobal, apparently.
Yeah, I think were he a real deep sea diver, I don't think he would have found that piece. I think he would have broken it in trying to find it. Yeah.
I wrote down at one point,
sequence...
it looks like they have really slow fins. It probably pissed you off.
Yeah, well, it makes Thunderball look like MTV. These diving sequences are literally just watching people swimming. And then, after 10 minutes of that, we get some plot. But
yeah.
We're not doing it all at the same time, that's for sure.
No, never.
And we find out that David Anders, evil British man, has a gun.
Well, and they find an Uzi too, right?
They find an Uzi, yeah, which is more sort of loss of innocence.
Sure.
It's like a kind of writing exercise to make up a story about a random prop you've been given. It's like, this movie's going to be about Uzis.
Well,
and then we go back. Yeah.
I was going to say, are you almost to the volleyball game with the cast of Survivor?
Well, yeah, we go back to the... So, in the last movie we did, the transitional device was Google Maps. In this movie, it's that tits and ass split screen.
Split screen, yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, like you say, Magnum PI all over.
Maybe we should take a break and come back.
Yeah. Let's take the lead of the movie.
We'll transition.
Transition.
Right. we're gonna take a break and come back, and I have to solve this mystery of what happened in the casting of this movie. I am fascinated by all.
I think I know something about beer. But nowadays, even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day, you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need. The Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, trying to decipher the code of Into the Blue 2, The Reef. How is it this movie is so enjoyable? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, it really takes off. This is still rocky waters in terms of quality. I think
certainly of quality, but you know, when the baddies show up, you know, when David Anders and Marsha Thomason show up, you know immediately that they're up to no good as the viewer. There's nothing for you to figure out. You know
there's
what I mean?
There's no pretense that
there's no pretense.
Anything else is happening.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the characters don't know, and you have to just kind of wait for them to figure it out.
But that's satisfying.
It is, yeah. I don't disagree.
You don't have to piece anything together.
I think it's very funny.
But you know that we're into the volleyball.
So we have this volleyball match, and they are.
Right.
It seems to be high stakes for the beach community.
Well, I mean, it would be, wouldn't it? Because these are volleyball champions playing.
Yes,
right?
Well, that's clear.
Playing themselves. So,
but they're playing against the cast of Survivor.
Yeah.
What I find amazing, so we have two women.
Yeah.
From Survivor.
Okay.
Pavardi Shallow and Amanda Kimmel. But what I find interesting is she's playing herself. They call her Pavardi in this movie.
Right, but Audrina from the Hills isn't playing herself.
Exactly, yes. So she's
got a
the actual girlfriend of a character, yeah. And so to me, I can't figure out what the fuck this movie's doing at this point, because they have many different reality characters coming to life on screen, some as themselves, some as characters. What is it that you're trying to do or tell us? I am fascinated by all of this.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can only imagine they were there.
Want to be in a movie?
This was the scene that they... I mean, at least...
Are you a Survivor watcher, by the way?
No, I have no context for it. I have watched... I know it from the other side, so I'm far more familiar with Audrina from the Hills.
From the Hills? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love Survivor. And... Man, I loved Amanda. We do a thing for that show where we pick our horse on the very first episode, like who you think's going to win. And I picked her twice in a row. So I picked her to win her first, and then she came back for like a all-star kind of season. And both times she got to the end of the last night.
She survived twice.
And did not win. But she was fantastic, Tom. I loved her. I wanted her to win. But she doesn't get to speak. And she doesn't really get to speak, and Pavardi is doing all she does have one line where She said something about how much they suck at volleyball or something like that. But I am just fascinated by this
It is odd.
reality show angle that this movie goes for and why it's there. Because it's not like they're pulling off a great bit of acting. You know what I mean?
It's not like they play any part in the plot.
No, yeah, they don't matter at all. This is their only scene.
Even Audrina,
she gets one more scene, I think. Entrance. Right?
Yeah, she makes an auspicious entrance, and then they stop speeding up the film. Or, sorry, the video. When she starts speaking. Yes. Like, well, clearly they didn't think much of her acting skills.
Yeah. And she looks a little different to me in this movie than her picture on IMDb. I don't know. She looks different than...
I'm afraid I don't have any information on that. Sorry.
Okay, fine.
I'm not that much of a Hills fan to know.
Yeah, I never really watched a full episode of The Hills.
Her side of it's a bit more explicable, especially as they give her a character name, because I think she was trying a hand at dramatic acting in film and TV. Mm-hmm. But the Survivor gals, I haven't seen them in anything else.
No,
I don't think they were looking for careers in film and TV.
They probably have their own podcast.
Well, I mean, you know, if two schmucks like us can do it, then
anybody can.
And anybody can.
You should watch Survivor, though, Tom. It's the first and the best, baby.
It's too late. It's too late. There's too much of it out there.
No
way I'm going to catch up.
You just start where you are right now.
Yeah, but then I'm at a lot. Then I don't have the... That's like, you know, that's like...
What, are you afraid you're going to get lost?
Only watching... Yeah, it's not like only watching A Good Day to Die Hard. It's not going to work.
You're like Costanza.
Yes, right. I need to see...
I'm watching Home Alone. Did you already watch Home Alone 2? Yeah, but I didn't see the first one. I was completely lost.
It's great. That should be it. That's like our slogan. That should be our slogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's this guy? Who's the real asshole? Is that Rand Holdren, Avery?
The stinky in the group.
The what?
The Newman of this, going back to your Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He's kind of
like the boyfriend of the Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Rand, yeah. Rand is Avery. Rand is the actor.
Or is he Mace?
Rand. No, Mace is the
that's the friend.
Mercia Monroe's, yes.
Yeah.
Boyfriend.
Okay.
Rand Holdren is the actor. The character's called Avery.
That's the asshole.
Yes.
He plays a pretty good asshole.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you need in that role.
I was very curious if they just found an asshole.
Plenty of them hanging around beach communities,
right?
Isn't there? We know this.
Or if this guy is maybe an actual good actor. That's what I was curious about.
No, I didn't look him up, but he fills the role perfectly.
They really give him and Audrina, is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Audrina Partridge. Yeah.
They give her a lot of screen time as she yells at him about what an asshole he is.
But they speed it up, so it kind of cancels it out.
All right.
I like this strobe slow motion club that they go into. We get more.
We get more unnecessary tits.
The Rorschach split screen. You know where
it
kind of splits in the middle. It's just like running wild with the video effects. Probably Stephen Herrick's like goes, "What does this one do?" And this one. Is there any way we could do them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. You can do whatever you want. Can we Star Wars this bitch? Yeah, absolutely.
It's like when Homer gets hold of the video editing.
Yeah, Star Wipe
and
we're out.
Yeah, no, I've got the same note here. Why are we spending so much time with this couple?
The lap dance.
We get the wet and wild lap dance.
Yeah.
but then I guess a more sort of existential note was, why do any of these couples' lives matter? So
right.
I obviously got that sense from the movie that, well, we might as well spend time with these people because nothing matters.
Yeah, the movie's gonna try and
the end of innocence.
doesn't doesn't Avery fuck around with Azra somehow? Like she shows the characters what the audience already knows, which is she's kind of a baddie and dangerous, right?
And this is where we go into get into the Indiana Jones of it all, with this sort of. Well, it's interesting because the movie there's a religious relic treasure, but it's not the MacGuffin of the movie.
Right.
The MacGuffin of the movie are some warheads lying at the bottom of the ocean, right? Which we don't know at this point.
Yeah.
But at this point, we
could guess that it's not what they've said they're looking for, though, right?
Right, but they are also looking for it. This shipwreck, right? This so it's kind of interesting, and again, it just feeds into the whole sort of. It's a religious relic, so it feeds into the whole religious parable aspect of the movie. I love that David
does feel Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it that important.
But it's kind of interesting that it's a red herring. But it's a red herring until it's... But the ending of the movie
it's not.
Until
it's going to be...
The end of the movie suggests that's what it was all about.
Yeah, until it's going to be the device to make our couple happy.
Right. David Anders pretends to be an importer-exporter. It's funny that we're talking about George Costanza because that's he pretends to be
Vandalay.
Vandalay. Yeah. What do you import? Big long matches. And this is where we find out. Is this where we find out? Well, this is where we find out that they're
kind of. It's like them. I wrote down that Carlton tells them the truth for some reason.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it wasn't the full truth yet.
Right, yeah.
And Azra, she's got that great line where she says, "You owe them the truth.
Tell them the rest of it." Yeah.
But all of that sort of is to build more trust. That's a house of cards. I mean, it's all bullshit. They're just going to threaten their lives soon anyway, but yeah.
But
it's fun, Tom. It's fun. It's fun to watch, you know?
And also, it's not a bad way of doing exposition because I like the idea of one character urging the other to do exposition.
Yeah, right.
It makes it seem more natural. Let's go on, tell them.
Yeah.
We meet Paul the sheriff at this point.
Yeah, I wrote cop as another. I wrote down the cop's another bad actor. I love this movie.
He is a really bad actor. He's also a bad character as well.
Yeah,
because it shows us that the town's Brody is also their mayor.
Yeah, right.
And it's just a nice way to let us know that legal ramifications are not going to be a problem.
Not going to be a part of this. Yeah.
Yeah. This is your John Wick, no cops. No cops in this world, or the only cops in this world are not going to ask enough questions to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I wrote down we have lots of underwater shots with slow dissolves. Tom might be upset.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, like, the shot of the boat leaving the harbour, no matter how much ominous music you put under it, it's still just a shot of a boat leaving a harbour.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could make. I wonder if at one point I thought, is this movie just made entirely of outtakes from IMAX underwater documentaries? Like they just went to the people who made them and went, "Have you got any footage that
anything you didn't use?
You're not gonna use, and it doesn't look great." We've like going with the Garden of Eden symbolism. We even have like Adam fucking it up for Eve, so it's they've even got that part of the story down because it's all Chris's. Chris draws her into it,
right,
rather than her actively seeking corruption.
Yes.
Did you wonder where all the people of color were on this island at any point?
Yeah. But I also...
Did they even consider populating the background with any non-whites?
I also reconciled it with sort of the idea of like, I mean, there's plenty of island shots where, yes, you could have done that. But they're also like by themselves at dinner, by themselves on the boat. They got
plausible deniability.
Yeah, this movie didn't give itself a lot of opportunities to do anything other than, there's few enough opportunities where they could say, listen, this is just who was available that day. I mean, we wanted to, but
It's not a lack of diversity, it's a lack of funds.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, at one point I was like, hang on a minute. It's like the only person of color we've seen is British. What's going on here?
Right. Now they find the crate, but they leave it there. That surprised me.
So my next note is
considering
angry
the time
Jets.
constraints with other people looking for
Sure.
shit. I thought, oh, so you don't want to bring it up right now? We'll just come back tomorrow.
Well, they don't have the time to film it. That's
Yeah.
limits what you can do with the story. My next note is angry jet ski waves.
Is
So
that
like they need a jet ski scene, but they have to try and tie it to the emotional state of the characters at the same time.
Is that when the friend is upset?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and we have an angry jet ski.
Because he and Kimmy have a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mace and Kimmy.
Yeah.
And
then
I
we
wrote
get a
down.
hard... Yeah.
I wrote down that we have Kimmy's very frustrated bad acting. I wrote bad acting a lot, but none of it bothered me.
None bothered me at all.
Yeah.
I know there's a hard cut to makeup sex.
Yes.
So it asks us to invest emotion.
But I wrote
superficial it all is.
I wrote there's a time bomb song with Mace on a jet ski is what I wrote in terms of your jet ski scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's these kind of the near love making and the actual sex scenes. It's kind of, I talked about this in the ranking episode. It's in between a normal film and one of those after dark movies.
Right.
Like it's right on the precipice, I think.
Yeah.
It could, like at a development stage, it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm. It's like they didn't make a choice, and they fell between the two.
They fell between the two. Yeah, it's like it's not gonna satisfy your late night masturbatory fantasies,
right? But I thought
it's not gonna not do that.
Yeah.
You all know what I'm talking about. I need not elaborate. It'll do in a pinch. Not that I have to pinch it.
If you're looking for a boner, you might find one in this movie if you just allow it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny how much time this movie spends on making the audience believe that this breakup for a couple we don't care about really is going to happen for real, just to follow it up with the joke that, no, they'll never break up. This is just the way their life is. But it was funny that the movie was able to make me feel the frustration that clearly Sebastian and Danny must have with these people being their best friends.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Yeah.
These people are filth, all of them.
Terrible.
One of my favorite character in the movie is about to appear. The chef come henchman.
Yes. I want to know so much more about this character and that actor.
I will henceforth refer to him as Fabio.
As you should.
So I was just like, he looks so much like Fabio. They should just do a joke about a bird flying into his face because that's how much he looks like Fabio. And then this is the thing where it's just like, this is where probably my affection to the movie kind of really crystallized, because they have a conversation about God.
Uh-huh.
So at that point I'm like, whoa, this really is a religious parable. They're not just flirting with, like, biblical imagery.
It's overt.
They're going.
Yeah, they're going for it.
They're committed to this idea.
Yeah.
They're going for it, and it's crystal clear that's what they're doing. So it's just like, wow, okay, fair play into the Blue 2. You're not doing anything by halves here.
No. They go and have dinner with Carlton with their friends, right?
Right. Well, we've already had a dinner scene where it was just the two couples.
Yes. Now we have to add the weird couple.
This is the first time we see Fabio, but I think we've talked about him before.
Oh man.
So
I mean, we'll have to talk about it more as the movie goes on because of what he becomes.
Mm-hmm.
But this idea of an all-purpose killer/cook to me is like, where did they find him? I want to know so much more.
Him and Steven Seagal, that's in Siege. They're the
like,
only two.
What we need is an assassin. He goes, I can do that. I can cut out hearts. I can chop off legs.
Yeah.
I'll eat brains if you want me to. Also, I'm quite a good cook.
But here's the thing, and this is why I like this movie, I think, is there's no sense that he's not, like, there's no sense that he's pretending to be a chef.
No, yeah, no.
Because they all go, that was amazing. That food was incredible.
Exactly.
So,
that was the best meal I've ever had.
And he comes out and he serves the food. So the movie is not telling us that someone else is making the food.
No.
And I think that's why I like this movie. It's that straightforward. It's not trying to pull the wool over your eyes at any point.
He's not posing as a chef. He's a chef.
Yeah, he's a chef with a side hustle. He's got a side hustle in henchmanry.
Oh, man.
Having set up that the leading lady doesn't like diving at night, she is unsurprisingly forced into that exact situation.
Yes, yeah, right. In the scene, we all knew that was coming.
Yeah. I love
but
that
I also, so they look for that crate alone, and I wrote down, that's bad juju. Like, she's doing the thing she doesn't like to do.
Yep.
And not only does she say, well, I'll go with you, but I'll stay on the boat. And then she's like, what am I going to do? Stay on the boat? She like just goes underwater.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's that one Photoshop shark across the screen. It's like, just don't bother. I mean, it's one shark. I mean, it's not going to change anyone's mind about anything.
But isn't this when they come up and get back on their boat, and Carlton and Azra are already there on their boat? And I'm like, how did they get there? This was the boat that they would use to get out there.
Yeah.
I understand they might not have trusted them and would follow them, but on what?
Yeah.
They're just on the boat, Tom. There's no explanation. There's not another boat.
They stowed away. They
Oh,
got to
that's
the
great.
boat. They got to the boat ahead of them. This was their plan all along. Yeah, it goes full Thunderball in this scene. You know, there's two warheads at the bottom of the ocean. It looks like the nuclear bomb copy machine from Goldfinger.
Yeah, to me it looked like the nude bomb from the Get Smart movie.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
And we get bullets in the water, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say what we see is not what bullets do in water, nor what it looks like when it happens. I don't even know, can you shoot bullets underwater? Don't they have to be... And again, I've only got Live and Let Die to go on here, but don't they need to be like pressurized underwater bullets?
The guns themselves, or just shooting into the water?
The bullet. Well, if you shoot underwater, won't the bullet just go like that?
No, I think you're right with like certain old guns, but I think guns now can shoot underwater. A lot of guns can shoot underwater.
So, what
granted, it's water, so it's not going at full velocity.
What's the point of a harpoon then?
Well, harpoons don't know what bullets can do. Harpoons are just out there on their own, Tom.
Don't know what bullets can do. It's not the harpoon's fault. I think you misheard what I said. I didn't say it's the harpoon's fault. Those fuckers.
I personified harpoons for you.
Yeah, I know they're interchangeable to Harry Callahan, but still.
Yeah. Should we take one more break?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I mean, I'll wrap up the Bond references in this one little section.
Yeah.
She escapes using the view to a kill method. Where
Yes.
she
Yeah, I noticed that
she
too.
sucks out
With
the I
sucks
mean,
the air out of the thing. I
yeah.
did write down. I wrote down. What did I write down? Luckily they left the floats, which was convenient.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because why would they? Well, she needs to breathe
They're
underwater.
in a
That's
rush.
why.
Yeah.
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 I liked that though. All right, break. Nay, have you been sitting on there for months? Well, it's time for you to get back in shape. Check out 2AT Fitness. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook. 2AT Fitness was started by Tina Bernard. She is ready and raring to go to help you get back into the shape you want to get into. They've got all kinds of classes. They've got outdoor in-person classes. They've got online classes if that's what you prefer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get back in shape. You're going to find a variety of exercises. You're going to have strength training, cardio, weightlifting, even fun 5-minute burnouts that will push you to your limits. So get off the couch, get into shape. Go ahead and check out 2AT Fitness. Tina Bernard has got you for all your needs. I know her personally. She's fantastic. You're not going to meet a better person to help you become the new you. Check it out. We're back once again, everyone. Tom and I are finishing up with the who knows how much money this cost or made. Into the Blue 2, The Reef, directed by Stephen Herrick. What a journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
this is quite a journey also.
it is. I can't get over his career and that he made this movie.
Was it a slow decline or...
I mean, you know, because he did 101 Dalmatians, and then...
It's a big movie.
I think it's Holy Man is that Eddie Murphy movie, right? Which was, I think, a big disaster.
Well, there we go. That's why.
There's Rockstar with Marky Mark, which did not do well. And then there's Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones. Mm-hmm. And it's... We did that on the other podcast. We did Chew and I did it on the How Dare You podcast, you know.
I recognize it, yeah.
But and it's not like it was a huge money or, you know, movie or anything, but I don't think it was a terrible failure either.
But you can see the sort of you can see it kind of tapering off into less successful efforts.
Yeah, it's different than Mighty Ducks, Three Musketeers, Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted, I mean...
Yeah.
It was a huge movie.
All right, well, I think Mace and Kimmy get kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to call him Fabio, but I think his name is Milos.
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, I just took one look at him and I was like...
I wrote down he's the chef/assassin. I love that.
They tie them up. They tie them up, but not too tight.
Not too tight. They're moving about on the floor and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, those are our heroes, though, right? Like, isn't it Sebastian that starts, you know, inchworming his way down the boat to try and...
Yeah.
Whatever. What is he going to do? He's going to signal?
Get on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why they left them in a room with the communication device also, I don't understand.
I wrote down that scene is amazing. Just watching him do that.
Yeah.
Kind of to your point on the ranking episode about, like, the shit that probably happened to them. You're like, see this? That's from fucking Into the Blue, too. I thought that guy's probably got rug burns from doing that, like, 50 fucking times.
Definitely. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Speaking to your kind of bad actor comments, we get there's a shore patrol guy who finds Kimmy
while she's shivering on the buoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know whether this guy is an actor or not.
Yeah.
Because he just plays it so down the middle. It's like, could be a real shore patrol guy.
Right.
Or it could just be a supporting actor making a choice. I don't know.
In that moment...
It's almost too convincing.
Danny's shivering reminded me of the woman from Jaws 2 who sees her boyfriend get eaten in front of her. Like that kind of, you know,
Yeah.
We had Shivering from Cold and Shivering from Fear, but they look a lot alike. So I was like, I wonder if that's her daughter.
And now we know what the title means, right? Into the Blue. By the way, and I guess unsurprisingly, we've not talked about how this is a sequel in any way.
No, yeah, this is its own thing. This is an
original.
This is just taking the title and hoping that brings in some bucks.
Have we ever done a movie? Well, I guess the House Parties.
Yeah.
That are so unconnected to
their predecessors. Yeah. They're like, it's in the water. What more do you want?
Water is blue. Let's get on with it.
Is there a reef in this movie? Do they actually talk about being near a reef?
I don't know why I hadn't put that together before. I don't think there's a reef in this movie. No, they just wanted. I guess they just wanted to tantalize people. This time there's a reef.
This time there's a reef.
I want an entire movie series about Paul the Sheriff to find out why he is so easily talked out of his natural sleuth skills. Because he gets there and then he talks himself out of it.
Yes.
What happened to this guy? How badly did he miss the mark that he doubts himself quite this much?
Right. I think I'm at the hospital.
Yeah, we're at the hospital scene. There's a great line here. You're supposed to say something heroic, literally hero-shaming the hero of the film. Yes. Which tells us about how weak sauce our heroes are.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Because I also have the line where he says, "You're going to do what you do best. Fuck shit up."
That's one of my favorite moments in this movie. Amazing. I love that their plan is, let's be fuck ups. A real sense of who our protagonists are, judging by the nature of their scheme.
But considering what happens to Kimmy, this was not good advice.
No. Killing. This is the thing. Like Marcia Monroe is perhaps the best known of all the actors in the movie. I mean, I know her from episodes, but she's a fairly familiar face. So she's your B-lister in a movie full of C and D listers.
Of C and D, yeah, exactly.
And then they decide to kill her off 2/3 of the way through the movie. Like, one thing you can say about this film, it pulls no punches.
No.
We are happy to kill off our, in quotes, star.
Yeah. There were no comeuppance for Sebastian on that count, though. His friend Mace does not blame him in any way, shape, or form for causing his girlfriend to die.
I might be reading between the lines here, but it seems to me they like life more as a threesome.
Maybe.
And again, there's a good After Dark movie in there somewhere.
I also, because they find the treasure at the end, I felt like Mace is the kind of guy where finding treasure can alleviate a lot of terrible wounds.
Yeah,
both psychological and physical.
It's funny how this movie has an inflated sense of how important Marcia Monroe's character is, and at the same time, an underinflated notion simultaneously of how unimportant and / important her death is.
In the hospital, I like that moment where Azra says it's 5 minutes to this payphone or whatever. You've got 3.
I got real Terminator 2 vibes from this.
I did, yeah, totally. I know this hurts.
And a ruthless psycho killer.
Yeah.
And the phone booth bits are kind of fun nods to like chase cliches.
Well, it reminded me of Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Only slightly undermined by Kimmy's butt sticking out of her gown in the back.
Yeah, right.
This movie has a definite voyeuristic quality. There's a scene earlier where we we get a sneaky look at a woman showering that seems to be like, is that the camera or is that a creepy guy?
Right. Yeah.
And there's a few moments like that where you just see a tit through an armpit. You know, it's kind of like you're like, really? That's the shot you went with? That angle? Okay.
That's the auteurism coming through. It's through the armpit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she ends up in an aquarium. And at this point, I was like, they could have slashed this budget in half and just filmed the underwater scenes inside the tanks if they were going to if they were going to book this aquarium out for the day. But for a second, it sort of becomes like the fun house from Man with a Golden Gun or Lady from Shanghai for a second.
Totally, yeah.
But they don't have the budget or the.
But in the middle of it, they kill
that.
Kimmy. In the middle of this chase,
Yeah.
they kill Kimmy. I gotta tell you, of all the movies we watched in 2009, this is one of my biggest surprises.
Yeah.
This movie having the balls to kill Kimmy off astounded me.
Absolutely. Yeah, and something else that astounded me is that when we have the boat fight, everyone's really getting stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually pretty visceral.
Yeah, they're jumping off the different levels of the boat and shit. Yeah.
And it's like it's commitment you don't expect from this smaller movie.
Especially because it looks like they're doing a lot of this themselves. Like you said, it looks like these actors probably hurt themselves pulling off some of this shit.
I also love, and this is where, B movies are better than A movies, in my opinion. The villain gives up out of tiredness.
Yeah.
These are my kind of people.
Carlton, it's like, I've had enough. I've never worked this hard in my life.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not sure how fit any of you are to be leading this film. And then we get the Thunderball classic, the harpoon kill.
Yes, right.
Which is great. And
who says... Because I know Danny gets to the cop. Sebastian harpoons Carlton. But Azra is... Like, she's on the pier or near the pier and then disappears.
Yeah, literally into thin air.
Is it Mace or Danny that is... Are they talking to Sebastian? Because somebody says to somebody else, "You're not a murderer." And I'm like, I don't know. He put a harpoon through that fucking guy.
Yeah.
He seems very upset about it.
No, they're all murderers, yeah. But this is... Again, I keep saying this, but this was my absolute favorite moment of the movie.
You've had at least 3 of those already.
I know. But this really is this time. When Fabio is fighting, is it Mace in the water?
Oh, yes.
And I said out loud to myself, well, I was actually this, I said, God, how funny would it be if he turns out he couldn't swim?
Yeah.
And then the movie goes and does it. That's the twist.
Help me. Help.
Clearly, this film and I are working on the same level. What is parody to me is substance to them. I literally, you can see it in real time in my notes. I said, this would have been the perfect time to reveal he can't swim, and then three notes down, I guess the Fabio twist.
What I like about it is that the movie does a pretty good job of making the chef/assassin Milos, Fabio, pretty formidable.
Yeah.
You know, he's got that James Bond second guy. Low, I admit fully, Tom, low rent style, low rent.
It's very low rent, yeah.
But he's got that odd job kind of like, I wouldn't want that guy to be in front of me if I have to get around him.
He's more like your CGI person from Dial of Destiny, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's great. I love everything about him. So after this, the framing device villains come back for the rest of their day of filming.
Oh, wait, I might be wrong. Maybe is it Carlton that just says you're not a murderer when he's got the harpoon on him and he harpoons him?
Oh, like as a taunt? Like you're not going to do that?
I like it even more if that's the moment. You're not a murderer.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Milos is a bad swimmer, I wrote down. So good.
And as you predicted, As I predicted, Fabio can't swim, and as you predicted, the baddies are going to be back for the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, the silver hair guy's going to come back.
Yeah.
I didn't, because he is presented at the beginning of this movie as sort of the ultimate bad guy. And then you realize that he seems to be lower on the totem pole than Azra, which was surprising to me.
Well,
or at least
yeah.
Azra seems to be working for the person higher than him on the totem pole.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're angling
and I also
kind of
like that she gets
sequel.
away.
Well, I was surprised they're on, Into the Blue 3, Astra's Revenge. Yeah, and then this is where the movie sort of goes beyond its means somewhat. First of all, we get the reaction montage with the surf funeral circle.
Oh, what an amazing moment when they all splash. I didn't think a group of people could be discovered to be bad actors by splashing water, but it happened in that moment.
And that's the last present day scene in the film. And now we're 6 months later.
Yeah,
we got the time lapse. Weird that this film feels like it needs to have an epilogue. It's like the way this film starts and finishes really surprised me. And Sebastian's still hacking away in that sand.
Right, yeah.
It almost looks like a primitive fishing method. At one point, he nearly stabs a small fish.
Like he's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And why have an epilogue that involves a shipwreck when you can't afford to show the shipwreck? I mean, the closest we get is we hear them chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Off screen. But their solution is we're going to rent a boat for a day.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't show their haul, but we can show what they bought with
the
what
money
they found.
Yeah.
So it's like plot information, but without the visuals.
But what I like, because like I mentioned, because Azra ends up living, I just sort of like the idea that she's still out there. Like they think everything's hunky dory, and I want Into the Blue 3.
Astra's Revenge, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a postscript as well. There's which I guess they have to do in words because they ran out of money. I don't know. But there's no sense as like of any. There are threesome now as well. That's the other kind of funny thing about the movie. So yeah, a bizarre epilogue to tack onto this movie, but one that in its way is immensely satisfying, like the rest of the movie.
Oh yes, I think I've got it now. I apologize for bringing this up now a third time, but I'm pretty sure Carlton says you're not a murderer. And Sebastian says, "No, you are," and then shoots him with the harpoon.
Perfect. No notes.
Love it. Love it.
That couldn't have gone down any other way. I know you are, but what am I?
Exactly. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever.
Garbage man. I know you are. What am I? Garbage man.
Oh. Well. Yeah, I mean that's the end, Tom.
That's the end. That's the end of Into the Blue to the Reef.
Doesn't that funeral moment with the water splashing go into slow motion at one point?
I haven't written it down, but yes, I guarantee it.
How does Stephen Herrick know to make the emotional thing comical?
Does he know that, or is that how it turned out?
I don't know. I hope it was on purpose.
Yeah.
I hope he looked at the dailies or looked at the footage and said, "Yeah, we don't have it. It's not going to be emotional. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slow this shit up. People are going to laugh." Because there's a close-up of Mace at one point where I thought that was the one that made me think he can't even splash water good.
He'd never been in the water before filming this movie.
Yeah, right.
He's like from, buttfuck Arizona or whatever. He's never
Totally.
three hundreds of miles from the water. It's the first time he's ever put his foot in the ocean.
Oh man. Anything left for you?
Only the credits.
Yeah, but beyond that?
No, that's it. No, I've said everything. I'm no closer to figuring out why I like this movie so much.
No.
But I'm more certain that I did, having talked about it.
I have a feeling I might watch this movie again someday.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I feel like it's a video sequel I would, along with the Tremors series, I would happily go back to.
Yeah, right.
It's not as good as those, don't get me wrong, but...
Let's not go nuts.
No. It's
All right.
It's a night in. It's an
credit...
enviable night in.
Yeah. All right, well, credit check me.
All right, so the transition to whale song over the credits for all the stunt performers made it seem like those stunt performers died during filming, like it was an in memoriam. Visual effects and main title design, Mechnology, which sounds like an evil company that makes robotic monsters. The Mechnology division. Wariaka, this is a name of a song in the movie. Wariaka Vibes, open parentheses, Pig Mix, close parentheses, made by... Right, that's the name of the song. The name of the artist is lowercase, pig, uppercase, factory. All one word. I have a lot of questions about this credit.
Who wouldn't?
But the overriding one is, what is a pig mix?
I don't know.
Is that a description of the mix or the disc jockey who makes the mix?
Was this
mixed by a pig?
Well, because the one I wrote down was "Say Hey, I Love You."
Mm-hmm.
Because I was curious when that movie came, or not movie, when that song came out.
Yeah.
Because I felt like this movie was late to picking that up. I mean, this movie's 2009, and the song came out in 2008, so I thought like I had to give the movie maybe a bit of a pass.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought it was like 2005.
Really
That's what it felt like to me, Where this movie's like, we got to get some, the hip now song.
Well, songs like Crunk on the Dance Floor, which is exactly the kind of song title you'd expect. Some of the other songs, I stopped writing them down because they just looked like spelling mistakes in spam emails. I was like, I'm not transcribing this. But I did note names of some of the artists gracing the film's soundtrack. We got ourselves some Kale, Verboten, and Charlene. My favorite one is Kale. Who the fuck goes into the music business and calls themselves Kale?
Oh, is that a rap name? Is that a DJ name? Is that a singer-songwriter name?
Yeah.
Who is Kale?
I don't think Sting would have been as popular if he called himself Kale.
Kale. This is my new act, Broccoli. Cauliflower's gonna open up for him.
That's right. We get the standard disclaimer. Any resemblance to any characters, living or dead.
Sure.
I felt like they could have customized it for the sequel and put any resemblance to any characters from the original movie, living or dead, is entirely coincidental.
Or real people.
Or indeed real people. Yeah, I think that is it. Unit production manager Pixie Wespizer. So just wanted to say that Pixie is the first name. Wespizer is the second name.
Well, the first name is suspect, but the second name might have been your one person of color. Not in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
There you go. You're producing those units.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. I called this movie good, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I don't think if I change anything about my rankings, it won't be anything to do with this movie.
Yeah. What a good time I had watching this movie.
Yeah.
Not a night wasted, I said.
Not a night wasted. Absolutely, I agree with that. And I felt I started out for the real because of the movies that I just watched and before this, and just the general drudgery of this series that we're doing.
Yeah.
I was not looking forward to this. I thought.
I wasn't either. That was the best part of it. Was I thought this was going to be.
I thought this was going to. Yeah.
Be the anchor that would sink me for 2009. Where
there you go. You got it.
I'm done.
And you said it nautically. Yeah, I really thought this one would finish me off, but it actually gave me a lease of life that carried me through to the end of the.
Absolutely. Yeah. That does it for Into the Blue 2, The Reef, everyone. We want to know what you think. Can you still find it? Will you watch it? I want you to do so and report back to us what you think.
That's what free trials are for, everyone.
Yep. 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, my ass. So do that.
That's... Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you think. You're going to have to find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. Don't find us anywhere else. Nix the Musk. Go ahead and send an email to everythingsequal@gmail.com. All right. Well, we only have one left, right?
That's right.
We got to chay it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we saved the Prestige movie for last.
We're going to ask, what do you say? That's Sean Connery saying, what do you say?
That's it. Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
Pearl Harbor, Part 2.
I don't remember that. What was the context for
that? They're talking about the warheads. What happens if the warheads go off?
Oh, yeah.
It could be Pearl Harbor Part 2. And I know it's just a sick joke, but that's what this sequel could have started off as.
Think about the conversation we just had about this movie, how much we talked about it, and then how much we gave play and talked about the main MacGuffin, the point of the fucking plot and movie.
Yeah.
The nuclear bomb that we didn't talk about at all, basically. That's great.
We don't know what's there for most of the movie.
Yeah.
You imagine Thunderball, but not imagine watching Thunderball and not knowing.
Not knowing
the
what
warhead
the
is
fuck.
at the bottom of the ocean. That's the equivalent.
That's fantastic.